In order, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Honorable City Council members, Mayor, Madam Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, administrative staff who may be in the audience, to those who are in the audience, as well as those viewing our broadcast via our broadcast channel and YouTube Live, welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting. And today's date is Monday, February 26, 2024. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the table in the back of the chambers and hand it to the deputy clerk. And at this time, Mr. Chair, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo? Here. Councilman Barden?
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe?
Here.
Councilwoman Talley?
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth?
Here.
Councilwoman Williams?
Here.
And Councilman Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
And before I read tonight's agenda, I'm going to have to switch chairs because I'm sinking very fast. Okay, so.
You got the sinker.
Yep, I got the bad chair here, so we're going to move that chair there because I feel myself just going
Quicksand.
pretty low.
I know, right?
All right. Okay. All right, now for tonight's special regular council meeting agenda. It is as follows: number 1, agenda; number 2, minutes; 3, petitioner; 4, chairperson's report; 5, mayor's report; 6, clerk's report; 7, treasurer's report; 8, public comment; 9, unfinished business; 10, new business; 11, warrant; 12, communication; and number 13, adjournment. And a motion will be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you. Number 2, minutes, and for approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, February 12th, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the minutes from the regular council meeting that was held on February the 12th at 7:30.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from our regular meeting held on Monday, February the 12th at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. There are no petitioners on the agenda. Takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Chairperson has no report tonight.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to recognize your report.
I second that motion.
A motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Treasurer, Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, those in the audience here tonight, and those at home. I also, for the first time since taking office 2 years ago, I have nothing to report, and no action for council tonight, so I'll take it easy on everybody tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. Number 6A, we have for second reading and final adoption, 2 amendments to Chapter 24, Section 24 Sections 24-21 and Section 24-29 of the Romulus Code of Ordinances. It is requested that council approve the second reading and final adoption of the amendments to Chapter 24, Garbage and Refuge, Article 2, Section 24-21, Definitions, and Section 24-29, Violations of the Romulus Code of Ordinance. The ordinance amendment was introduced at the February 12th regular council meeting.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion for second reading and final adoption to amendments to Chapter 24, Section 24-21, and Sections 24-29 of the Romulus Code of Ordinances as read by the clerk.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. Second reading and final adoption of amendments to Chapter 24, Section 24-21, and Section 24-29 of the Romulus Code of Ordinance. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion?
Yes.
Discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Mayor, did we get an update on the fees with this changing of this ordinance?
So when we have to use a contract, it's always assigned by the court, and it's always, we use that contract that we already have fees established with grass cutting and maintenance of the site. So there's no new fees, so any fees or fines will be associated with court, and with what the judge determines. But the fees or the rates that we use would be for our contract that we have right now that does site cleanup and lawn cutting. So it'd be commensurate with those charges. Same contractor.
Same contractor, so, you know, say if the site has tires compared to like wood or metal, it's already a set fee?
It's already a set fee, and we're gonna try to work with the property owner. The preference would be to have those clean it up and try to encourage them through the court to clean it up on their own. We don't want to encourage a fee or incur a fee on the city's behalf, but the priority is always gonna be to work with the property owner to get it taken care of.
I would have just liked, because, you know, if I'm not mistaken, we were supposed to get like an update of what the fees, even though it's the court. But
I can supply that. I can make sure it's in your box before next meeting.
thank you, John.
Okay, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The last action item under my report is a special meeting study session request for Monday, March 11, 2024 at 7 o'clock p.m. And this request is coming from Gary Harris, chairman of the City of Romulus Pension Committee. He is requesting a 15-minute special meeting study session for the purpose of discussing an amendment to the City of Romulus Pension Ordinance. The date and time are both available.
Need a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for special meeting, study session request from Gary Harris for Monday, March 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m.
Second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mrs. Talley, for a study session request for Monday, March the 11th at 7 p.m. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Before I close out my report, just want to remind everyone, tomorrow is election day. The presidential primary election, polls open at 7 and close at 8 o'clock. A couple of things I just want to bring to everyone's attention. With this being a special election this time of year, the kids are in school. So we're going to ask voters that when you do enter those school buildings, that you be mindful, govern yourselves accordingly, and comply with the school policies. For example, the schools do have a policy. They're a weapons-free zone. Also, a smoke-free, so there are no tobacco-free environment zone. So we ask that everybody please keep that in mind if you're voting at Hill Creek, Barth Middle School, or Romulus Elementary. A couple of other things, but the students being in the buildings. is that for the middle school, precincts 1, 7, and 10. You're going to enter the building through the rear from the back entrance near the football field. And the precincts will still be inside of the gym, but we're just, there are signage to direct the voters to the back entrance, and there's parking there. But again, for the voters and public, please govern yourselves accordingly when entering to the buildings where students are present in the buildings. We want to keep our schools safe. As far as Barth, Precinct 11 and Hell Creek, which are precincts 2 and 4. You're going to enter through the side of the gym, through the back. So that's where the parking and the entrances will be. Romulus Elementary will be the same in all of our other precincts. There has been no changes to the entrances. So that's it. I want to just remind everyone, and this is a presidential primary election. Also, just want to have comment on our early voting that we had last week, 9 days. We had a total of 104 voters in 9 days. We were hoping that number would be a little higher, but that was pretty much throughout the community. The neighboring communities, they had very low turnout. This is new. We're all making history here in the state of Michigan, and I'm sure August, November, those numbers will increase. The only ones I know that broke over 300 was Canton, but he had 2 sites, and I believe Dearborn, so they were competing back and forth. But everything went well. I want to commend our deputy clerk because he spearheaded the whole early voting, the process, training, and just engineered just the process. There was a lot of layers to this, and the state did not make it easy for us. They really challenged us. So I just want to acknowledge him, and would you join me in just giving him a round of applause? He did a great job. He really did. 9 days, and then to those workers, those election inspectors, there's a lot of board, a lot of hours, but they did a great job. They caught on to the process, and so I just want to thank all of our election inspectors who worked those 9 days, and also for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a long day, and I want to just acknowledge those election inspectors. They're going to be like at least 15 hours working, so we appreciate their commitment, so that democracy works, and keeping it alive here, and so that we're having secured elections here in the city of Romulus. So with that will conclude the clerk's
I'd like
report.
to say something else.
Okay, Ms. Williams?
Yes, to the clerk, I would just like to say, I noticed in a lot of the cities, and a lot of people are still, maybe because the early 9-day voting, but maybe if moving forward, like for the August election, we can have signs like Wayne Road and Beverly Road leading to, signs saying vote today. Maybe that'll help, because a lot of people have said throughout my neighborhood, as I've been going about the city, that they didn't even know that it was the election period. So it's not getting a lot of attention, or either people are just not in the mindset of it, but still it would help on the day of the early voting, and also the day of the actual voting, that if we put signs, say like at Wick and Wayne Road, because your heavier traffic areas would really make a difference. And if you don't have to buy any, I got like 30 you can borrow, to put them out. Just say vote today, because that is like a reminder to folks that's not thinking about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Chair, that concludes the clerk's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Takes us to number 7, the treasurer's report.
Good evening. I have one reminder for everyone. Thursday, February 29th is the last day to pay your summer and winter taxes at the treasurer's office. At that point, March 1st, we do forward them over to Wayne County State Law. But of course, if you have any questions, please call my office. Again, that is Thursday, February 29th. And again, you can call my office. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer.
Okay, thank you. Takes us to number 8, public comment. And this is the portion of the agenda for those who are in the audience and who would like to address our city council. The rules to address city council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address the city council, please raise your hand. And after you've been acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium, state your name. Please note that members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. In addition, you will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chair. So after you reach your 3 minutes, if you want additional time, please address the chairperson for that additional time. Mr. Chair, we have several cards here that's requesting to speak. Right now, I have at least 4.
Okay.
And so the first person is Tony Heimberger.
Good evening, Tony Heimberger here on River Drive. First off, I would like to ask, why has this council never thought of raising the $300 water ratio? Since there's been so many increases that have been approved by this council to raise the water rates, why are we stuck at 300? And if you go a penny over, you're getting shut off. This council should really take a look at that. Secondly, 2 weeks ago, my name came out of somebody's mouth that was up here speaking, which is fine, I don't care. But right now, the taxpayers are owed over $10,000. And I would like to know from this council, what is being done about it? I do not want you to defer it to the mayor. You guys voted and paid these items. You guys are responsible, and I would like to know why and what is being done about it. Thank you.
Our next, let's see, the next request is coming from Charles Miller.
Good evening. Recently, I brought up the connection between the airport. Oh, by the way, sir, I may be just a little tad longer, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Miller,
you,
for letting me know. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Recently, I brought up the connection between the airport and certain illnesses. 2 weeks ago, I spoke on the jet fuel smell from the airport. After research, prolonged exposure to exhaust fumes may cause respiratory systems such as coughing, chest tightness, breathlessness, and disease in activities and decrease in activity tolerance, particularly in persons with a history of asthma and lung problems. I have 3 in my family who are working with asthma now. They've lived in this city all their lives. Studies suggest jet fuel exposure may affect the nervous system, the liver, may have damage, immune system, and skin irritation may result. Aircraft produce emissions that react in the atmosphere to form pollutants that impact air quality. These emissions have long been regulated through standards which include oxides of nitrogen, carbon monoxide, of unburned hydrocarbons, and smoke deposited on surrounding homes in a 16-mile radius near the airport. These concentrations of all gases and particulates, pollutions, were measured at 4.8 higher when the residence was not downwind of the airport. Emissions from the aircraft and associated ground vehicles, as well as power use in buildings, are all contributing to climate change and local poor air quality issues. Ponds, streams, and large standing lakes are in danger of potential contamination from unburned exhaust hydrocarbons impacting not only residents, but fish and wildlife. Small amounts of ambient air pollutant can have substantial effects of incidences of respiratory, possible cancers, and related illnesses. Airports are among the largest source of air pollution in the United States. It is a proven fact living near an airport negatively affects one's health due to air pollution and noise pollution. Two weeks ago, I mentioned the vent pipes that surrounded the airport. Thanks to Mayor McCray, we now know those are sewer vent pipes, possibly the source of the foul smell south of the airport residents continually complain about, possibly de-icing contaminants from holding ponds. Let me be clear. By my bringing this serious information to the residents will have little, if any, impact on the manner of the operation at the airport. This information is for those who may be considering moving their family into the community of Romulus and the impact on health to their families. Until science catches up on the pollution dropped on the neighborhoods daily, the only escape is to not live near the airport. Recently, the city of Dearborn installed 10 air quality monitors in conjunction with a partnership program, a program known as My Next Cities. 3 cities were selected: Flint, Marquette, and Dearborn. Dearborn, this program is run through a state environmental agency known as EGLE. Detroit International Airport is listed as the 20th busiest airport in the United States. I would ask Mayor McCray and his staff to look into a working relationship with the state agency known as EGLE and see if the city of Romulus might have the opportunity to be a partnership of this very important program. May very well be there are state environmental grants available that will help pay for the implementation of these programs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the longer.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mr. Murray?
Hello, my name is Mr. Murray. I live over on Chamberlain Street, and I'm a 2-year new resident to Romulus. And maybe the mayor could give me a little more insight as to what's happening in the Wick and Viney area. It looks like there's a lot of big commercial companies coming in there, which is really good for the city. But I don't see much myself in the way of retail things that are happening within the city, and I think we need to see some of that. I've lived downriver pretty much most of my life, so I've seen a lot about what's happening in Romulus before I even moved here, but anything you can expand on would be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can do something on the unfinished business.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, Council, the next resident requesting to speak is Elka Gaston.
Thank you. Good evening, council members and mayor. My question is the jurisdiction of the Huron Police. I feel harassed by the Huron Police, that they are in violation of their jurisdiction. I've obtained a civil rights attorney separately, and a federal judge is taking the case. But locally right now, until I go to court, my children are being harassed, which my children have gone to school around us. And I think it's outrageous to look at somebody and turn your car around and profile them and make up an excuse to give somebody a ticket, which is frivolous, because today I was down there showing them that this is what you gave my child a ticket for, and the police at the door signed off on it. And so anyways, to me it's out of hand, and I know if you stopped 3 of my children in 1 week, I'm not the only person, and it's Huron. And I don't believe they're in their district. I don't live in Huron. I don't conduct business in Huron, neither do my children. The sign where we're being stopped says, "Welcome to the city of Romulus." So you're following us and then waiting for somebody to cross the light, so hopefully you're in your district, so now I can try to ticket you and put you over. But anyways, to me, it's out of hand. And I don't believe I'm the only citizen feeling harassed. And I'm hoping that our city can do something about maybe finding the city of Huron because they're not in their district, and staying within their jurisdiction and harassing our citizens, because they're for sure ticketing our citizens. And if people don't have time to fight it, they're paying it, so that money is going to Huron, not the city of Romulus. And they're specifically targeting Romulus citizens because I watch them daily. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Weaver.
To the mayor, can Huron, Belleville, or Van Buren cross over, follow someone outside of Romulus and give them a ticket?
I don't want to answer on that. I'd like to have, looking with PD and legal before. I'm sure there are some boundary applications, but I don't think it's as simple as somebody crosses the border and our PD can't reach out and continue to try to enforce the law. So I'm not sure. I don't want to speak out of turn on that one. We'll have to look into it a little bit.
Yeah,
I would like to, before you leave tonight, ma'am, where'd she go? Just give me your name and phone number so we can reach out to you after. You have a card?
I have a card, yes.
Thank you.
And we have one more.
Through the chair, please. Just
Yes,
quick.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, thank you. What was that location? You said that the Huron police is sort of stalking or staking out. Yes, what?
So they've even been, I've been reporting everything to my, I've been reporting everything to my civil rights attorney, and they want me to keep a record of what they're doing and how they're violating our civil rights and harassing our members. So what it is, where my daughter, yesterday, where I think he pulled her over, so he looked at her and turned around and followed her. Where it says welcome to the city of Romulus, on Pennsylvania. So I took a picture of the address today of the house where she was in front of, and it says Romulus. So anyways, he followed her, and she could see him following her. As soon as she crossed the light at Middle Belt and Pennsylvania, then he sirened and pulled her over and gave her 2 tickets.
Wow. 2?
2. And then the next day he pulled my other daughter over, and he told her, you have to have a paper license, and she's pregnant under where you have to rest. So she only has a license on her phone, which she did online, and she told him, this is my license. And he said, that's illegal, you have to have a paper license, and he gave her a ticket. So when I say that this harassment, like my kids are afraid to leave, so I'm not allowing my kids, and I'm telling my coworkers, because I'm a flight attendant for Delta, you guys don't go down Pennsylvania and allow the Huron police to harass you, because this is, to me, is all it is. So, but I was taking pictures of everything to show, this is where you're pulled over, this is saying, welcome to Romulus. So, and a home where you're right in front of. So just trying to prove to the court, I went in and asked for a hearing. I asked the court clerk, I would like to schedule a formal hearing. And I also requested a public defender for my daughter, and she kind of was very condescending to say, we don't give a public defender for civil infraction. Well, my daughter is a prosecuting attorney for the city of Oakland County, and they do there. So I would assume we would too.
It's always go to 34th District Court.
Huh?
Huron does go to 34th District Court, so it ends up in our court.
Right, that's where I went, to 34th District Court, and I was following the procedure to ask for a formal hearing so I can express that this isn't even your jurisdiction. So why do you continue to harass our kids? Our citizens, period. And my daughter, who was a prosecuting attorney for Oakland County, she said that to request a public defender so that you can express, this isn't in your jurisdiction and But I was told by their clerk, we don't supply public defenders for civil infractions, like very condescending, I'm adding, how her, response was, which, why not? If Oakland County does it, why wouldn't we?
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could, and I'm not defending anybody here, but just a fact. Romulus and Huron along Pennsylvania Road have jurisdiction on both sides of the road. But that's just a fact of law. Okay.
Right.
Any more comments from council?
You got one more written?
I'm sorry.
You got one more written?
Yes, I do. I have one more.
Okay.
This is from Calvin West. Okay, yep, you can come up.
Thank you, Council, for granting me this time my name is Calvin West. I'm calling in regards to the property out at 11014 Whitehorn. And I'm not sure where we are with this property or where you all are, but I've been interested in this property for the last 2 years in purchasing it. And myself and architect, we was involved in getting plans and everything made. I went to the city and I also went to the building department, and they said this property is on a demo list, and it's been on a demo list. And I would like the facts because I have an architect and I have a bond if you guys need it tonight for that. And I just want to know, is this on the demo list, is it still up for sale, or what's the status on it? And I'm very much interested in purchasing this property, like I have been for the last 2 years.
Address unfinished business.
Ms. West, he's going to address that on unfinished business and give you an answer.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. West.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, that concludes written request.
Okay. Is there any other comments from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Rita Denard, Seminole Court. I'm happy to say I don't have a complaint. I wanted to thank Councilman Wadsworth, the City of Romulus, and all of the volunteers for this weekend's pet vaccination shot, clinic.
Right.
Last year, for my little rowdy Jack Russell, I had to pay over $500 for his shots and vaccination. This year, at the clinic, I paid $53 for the same. Actually, I got more.
It's a great deal, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it is. And it makes a great difference. There were people there who were in need and needed that. Because last year, when I doled out my credit card to pay, I was threatening to put that dog down because it just cost
Can't do that.
It just cost too much. So again, I would like to thank you. And I realized that there were some volunteers there and stuff, so I don't want to just take from it. If you need volunteers next year, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Any other comments from the audience? If there's no other comments, Madam Clerk, we'll close that part out.
Number 9 is unfinished business.
Mayor?
Thank you. Just to answer a couple of the questions and concerns brought up under public comment. First, the development with Wick and Vining in that area. So the intent with that development, there's 6 buildings at over 300,000 square foot each. Can I have more time, please? But the way the deal was brokered with the North Point Development was they'll build 3 of the commercial industrial buildings in there. I hope Mike's down there working on this issue. Can you hear me now? Does that still work? Is it still picking me up?
Don't touch
Maybe you need to shut that one off.
It's not going to turn on. It's not going to turn on. It's not going to turn on.
We'll try it again. I'll just stay away from the microphone just a little bit. But anyhow, we brokered the deal with North Point. It was structured and such that they're going to build 3 industrial buildings, and they also have to do 3 commercial retail buildings along Wick. We established a retail corridor. The vision is that that will continue all the way into the hotel district. Right now, we have sheets. They're working on their pad. Now the frost laws are up. The sheets will be the first one in Michigan. We're excited about that. That's that anchor on the corner there on Wick and Vining. And we also have Tesla, who's doing a mega charging station in there as well. Those are the 2 that we can talk about. They've already started the process on that. Those will be going in this year. And there's several other things that are coming now, because now there's a Tesla station that's become more marketable to other sites that want to be there. If you have to park your electric car and have it charged up for a half hour, there's another opportunity to be on that site. So we're excited about a lot of the opportunities, but we've all been here and seen things come and go a million different times in the city, so I don't like talking about it until it's coming out of the ground. So we're still working hard with it, but it's a partnership with North Point. They build 3 buildings, then they have to build 3 of them that we want to see along Wick. Once they've completed those, then they're allowed to build 3 more buildings on their area. So that whole area will create that economic environment where somebody's, they get off the highway now that's a reason to spend dollars, and that'll bring retail in there. At least that's the vision we're trying for. So you'll see a lot of movement over here now. I saw the cranes are redeployed for the 24 construction season, so I'm excited about that. But stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have some information we can share with everybody here soon regarding some future developments in that area. But as always, if anybody wants to call and ask about updates, feel free to call the office and we'll let everybody know. And as far as the Huron Police Department, we got your information. We're going to look into it. I'll have PD reach out to you and we'll double check on the jurisdiction and see what's going on. The Whitehorn demolition, that is on the demolition list. It was approved by City Council, I believe, 2 weeks ago. That's that old dilapidated apartment building at Whitehorn and Goddard Road. That was on the demolition list years ago. The current owner purchased the property, established a large bond to do repairs, and here we are 2 years later, no repairs, still open to trespass, and it's been insecure, so it continues to be a blight. So at this point right now, the only way to halt demolition would be to file an injunction in circuit court. But I believe that might even be untimely now, since it's got 10 days after City Council has ruled. So I believe the contract has been awarded already, and I think that the demolition of that structure will take place in the next week or 2.
So, Mayor, is anything Mr. West can do to redo that building, or is it too late?
The only thing that might be available to him would be to go to circuit court down in Detroit and file an injunction there, hire an attorney to go after that. And even at this point, the judge might even rule untimely, but that would be up to to Mr. West to do, or the property owner. But right now, we've afforded second time on the demolition list, even with the previous owner. This is the second time through it. They had a means of appeal for the Construction Board of Appeals, and then also through City Council. It's been approved for demolition again, so here we are. And like I said, it's been on our list for 3 to 4 years. There was some significant repairs to that site. It's not just about putting new siding and new windows on a site. Now that it's been gutted on the inside, electrical, plumbing, insulation, all have to meet up to be brought up to the current energy codes. So it'd be a significant rebuild there. And you're also talking hard surface parking, drainage on that site. So it'd be a significant investment to make that site up to a par where we're comfortable leaving it there on Goddard Road. So at this point right now, the only means for the appeal might be through circuit court, and but I'd definitely talk to an attorney about it.
Thank you. Ms. Williams.
Through the chair, Mayor, once the city, once that property is demolished, who owns that property after that? The city?
The city doesn't take ownership of the property. When the city forces the demolition to occur, we simply give the bill to the property owner. A lot of times what happens now is the property owner, they don't pay the bill and it goes on a tax roll. But we are working with the bill collector now too, so this demolition will be the first time that we go after, and hopefully we're not spending just tax dollars on a demolition. If we're forced to use tax dollars to remove a blighted structure, we're going to go after the property owner and hope to be reimbursed. So we're going to do everything we can on our end.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure to know and be clear that even though the city has it on the demolition list, the property owner still owns and still responsible.
Yep, still responsible.
Okay,
and we will send them a bill.
Thank you.
Ms. Abdo?
Yeah, this is unfinished business. It's been brought up before at other meetings. I'm still getting complaints that the semi-trucks are going down. They're still going down Osga and Wick. And there's no signs. All the signs that said no trucks are down. Is there any way we can put those back up? Evidently, some truckers like that path rather than Wayne Road.
I'll definitely look into that.
All right, I appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Talley.
I'm sorry, Mayor, you getting plumber with questions, but just Can you address the water limit process Mr. Heimberger was talking about earlier? What is that process for that?
That is the maximum amount that's been established as a policy for the city. If a water bill reaches that amount, it's got to be paid. But that is a fair point. If council wants to discuss raising that limit, because it's, the price of everything else has gone up right now, maybe it's time to take a look at that and maybe a higher amount. My concern would be a higher amount would be harder for somebody to pay that amount. But it's open for discussion.
And the only reason I add, because I've never seen anything come through council, so I just wondered what the process was. Is it something that does come through council? Does anybody know?
It's an ordinance.
Is it okay.
It's an ordinance. It would have to be revised, yeah.
Okay, because when it increased, it came down to $300. I remember, because I think it was at 400 at one point. Was it 400? Then it came down to 300. So I don't remember anything coming to us when that happened.
We can look into that process and
Yeah,
see
can
what
we
it
look
would take.
into the process?
And we can get the information to city council. If something you want to take a look
Okay.
at, we can do it.
Okay, no, sounds good, thank you. And then the other thing I just want to put while on the finished business, at the last meeting we had, I wanted to talk about the report outs for council liaison on the different boards and committees. I want to hold off on that until after the election to see where we fare as far as meetings for council, because I think that's on the ballot for how many council meetings, so I'm going to hold off on that until after the election, and see how that pans out and kind of flush that out. But I do want to say this, thank you, Councilwoman Roscoe, for your report. I think she's going to give everybody a copy of a report, and it's extensive, so thank you for that information. And then even Councilwoman Abdo, thank you for the communication from the library. I thank you guys for taking it seriously, just so that we're all informed and on the same page with what's going on with the different committees. But they did have this information for council, so I just want to thank them for that. That's all I have.
John, as long as you're under old business, Mayor, is there any movement in the monument for the veterans?
Nothing substantial to report on. We had a meeting with the finance team today, as a matter of fact, just to talk about and find out what the options are. So we're going to be putting out the bid again. We're tweaking some of the requirements in it to hopefully entice some more contractors. But right now, we're still both letting bid and personally calling contractors to see if we can't find somebody interested in reinstalling that monument. It's definitely a priority, but nobody's stepped up to bid on it yet.
Fine, thank you.
Yes, and I would just like to say up under, what is this, unfinished business? I would like to say, even with I remember when it was 400 and went down to 300. What we have to make sure is that we're being fair across the board. What's good for one should be the same for everyone across the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any more unfinished business?
Through the chair, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Wilson.
Under unfinished business, just a quick inquiry to Mayor McCray. I believe Mr. Miller raised the issue about the air quality. Do we have any recent readings or any type of statistics that would indicate what type of air pollution is?
We're still working with the EPA and the Metro Airport right now. They do have some information they're trying to get to us. They were very responsible when we reached out, and they continue to be, so we have a good relationship with them. But as I get information, I'll make sure we're sharing it. It's a very valid point, so I appreciate bringing it up. And going through Eagle, too, I have some contacts in Dearborn. We're going to reach out. I'm going to look into that program to see if maybe Romulus could be part of that program as well. So you don't know what you don't know, so I appreciate you bringing it up, but we could definitely look into it. We all live around this airport, and we've been breathing it for a long time, so.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other finished business?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Takes us to number 10, new business.
John,
Mr. Wadsworth.
if I can, I've got two things and I'll be quick. St. Aloysius has their Lenten fish fry, and it runs for the next 4 Fridays until March the 22nd. And it's either baked or fried fish. They have pizza for the kids, and they have kids' meals with it also. Number 2, I want to thank this lady out there that had the best looking dog there in that day for the shots, and it was nothing but a positive day from the people that were there. Compliments after compliments. They kept complimenting me, and I said, well, compliment them people over there, because they're the ones that are doing the rent, are doing the work. And you're right about $500, because, these vets that have got these big fancy offices will give you the same shot for 10 times the price. And it'll be back next February, and I can't think of the lady vet that was there, but she will make a cash donation to be used at the animal shelter. It's a very good, positive event. Thank you. And I think there was over 100 people came.
Thank you. Any other new business?
Okay. 11 is for the warrant, and for approval is warrant 24-4.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 24-4 in the following amounts. General Fund, $83,104.80. Major Street Fund, $3,209.24. Local Street Fund, $7,022.60. Public Safety Fund, $21,696.48. Cable TV, $674.93. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $403.97. Street Lighting Fund, $59,884.92. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $4.57. Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, $244.50. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $3,150. 9/11 Service Fund, $2,488.44. NARC Forfeiture State, $10,327.40. Library Fund, $5,397.36. DDA, $2,322.85. Tifa District 2, $1,291.84. Water and Sewer Fund, $549,439.85. Motor Vehicle, $47,385.29. Technology Services, $325.02. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $99,263.47. Revolving Fund, $16,247. Current Tax, $70,719.47. Payroll Fund, $303,276.33. Totaling all funds, $1,287,880.33.
I second that motion.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 24/04 for $1,287,880.33. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 13 is communication.
Through the chair.
Ms. Talley?
A couple of things. First, I just want to thank you, Clerk, regarding the early voting setup. I was actually able to go and visit. I could see the hard work. I saw the work. Thank you, Dejan, for what you did. I saw him in there teaching the class. We walked over there, and he was over there teaching the class, did an amazing job. So thank you guys for what you have to do that's mandated, and you did it in excellence. So thank you very much. I saw the hard work put into it, and it was just amazing to have that resource open for the people and the residents of Romulus. So thank you for your work on that. And then secondly, just some events that have been going on in our city over the last couple of weeks. A great event at the high school a couple of weeks ago. Dr. Edmondson's father came, Reverend Dr. Clarence Edmondson, who came and did a presentation on the struggles and pain of an Alabama Negro in the Jim Crow era. It was a great presentation as we were wrapping up Black History Month. I want to thank him for bringing his dad out there. He did an amazing job talking about how he grew up in the South. So thank you. That was a great event. And everybody who came, the mayor was out there, several people was out there. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out who participated in that event. It was a great event. Next, I want to talk about our Director of Parks and Rec, Colleen Dumas, who put on an amazing event at the Mother and Son Bowling event, I think it was last Saturday, this past Saturday, I can't get no, last Saturday. It was a great turnout, great event, mother and son outing, and it was just packed in there. And then another event she had this past weekend, I think the Pee Wee basketball started out, and it was standing room only for what I was told. I wasn't able to make the event, but it was standing room only, so just want to continue to give out Colleen all her hard efforts and what she's doing for our youth and just bringing all these different events back to our city of Romulus. So thank you, well, not bringing them back, but taking them to another level. So thank you, Colleen, for all your work. And I want to just let everybody know she has a plethora of information and things she's doing in our city with Parks and Rec. Thank you, Councilwoman Roscoe, for the clarification that Parks and Rec is in the RAC, but you don't have to be a member to be there. So thank you for that clarification at the last meeting. So please, she has information all on her counter at the Parks and Rec Department in the RAC. So please go by and pick up. She has a lot of things going on. And then lastly, two more things. The Friends of the Library is having a silent auction fundraiser on Saturday, March 9th from 5 to 7 at the library. So please go out and support the Friends of the Library in this silent auction fundraiser event. Again, it's Saturday, March 9th from 5 to 7 at the library. And then this week, our school is doing kindergarten festival week. So I went by Rommel. They had one at Rommel today, tomorrow. I'm not sure who is tomorrow, but they got hit in all the elementary schools this week. But every day this week from 6 to 8, it'll be a different elementary school that will be highlighted for the kindergarten festival week. So tonight was Rommel. Not sure who's tomorrow, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, each one of the elementary schools will be targeted for the festival. It was a nice turnout tonight at Rommel. A lot of kids got new kids coming in looking at interest to come to our school district. So that was very exciting. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Towers. Ms. Williams?
Yes. I would like to ask for a memorial resolution for Harry Scott Jr.
Support.
Support.
Abdul supported it.
I'd like to say something.
Okay. It was motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Abdo for memorial resolution. Ms. Williams?
Yes. Harry Scott Jr. Has been a figment of Romulus, the south end of Romulus, for over 5-6 decades. He was the husband to Betty Scott, which passed 2 years ago. I would ask anyone that know the word of prayer to please be praying for the 3 sons that's left behind, the grandkids and the great-grands. Any information pertaining to any service or anything will be forthcoming, but definitely that memorial resolution for Mr. Scott is befitting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. It's been motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Abdo. Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Yeah.
Ms. Williams?
And also, as always, every Tuesday, we are at the high school Forgotten Harvest. People line up at 7:30, but actually, the truck don't get there till 9:30. So as long as you're in the line before 12 o'clock, we will serve you. All you need is your name, your address, and your phone number, and your birthday. We don't ask for any income information. We are there to serve the residents. Please come out and benefit from what Forgotten Harvest and a lot of the other corporations donate to our site. Thank you.
Any other communications? I have one. The NFL draft will be in Detroit this year. And that's the only time I'm speaking until the season starts. Right? Right, Mr. Miller?
That's what we're looking forward to.
All right, thank you.
Is there any more communication from council? If not, takes us to number 13, adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are